What if the stranger irritating you is actually living through their worst nightmare? It is a remarkably quiet Sunday morning on a New York City subway car, where passengers are wrapped in the peaceful, gentle silence of the early hour. Some are quietly reading the morning papers, while others rest their eyes, savoring a rare, beautiful moment of undisturbed tranquility. Among them sits Stephen Covey, observing the calm, slow rhythm of the city before the inevitable, noisy rush of the day begins. Suddenly, this fragile peace is shattered as a man and his young children board the train, bringing a storm of loud and chaotic energy into the quiet carriage. The children run wild, screaming, throwing objects, and even snatching newspapers right out of the hands of startled passengers. Meanwhile, the father sits down directly next to Covey, closes his eyes, and remains entirely oblivious to the disruptive behavior of his own family. Covey feels a wave of irritation wash over him, unable to comprehend how a parent could be so incredibly negligent and passive in public. Finally, unable to tolerate the growing disturbance any longer, Covey turns to the man and asks if he could please exert a little more control over his children. The man lifts his gaze slowly, as if waking from a heavy, dreamlike daze, and looks directly at Covey. In a soft, quiet voice, he explains that they have just left the hospital where his wife passed away only an hour ago, leaving him entirely numb and his children unable to process their grief. In that singular, devastating moment, Covey's irritation completely vanishes, replaced by a wave of deep, overwhelming compassion. True empathy requires us to look past annoying behaviors and seek to understand the hidden pain others may be carrying. In our fast-paced daily lives, it is incredibly easy to judge the outward, frustrating actions of strangers, reacting with anger to disruptions without ever knowing the silent tragedies unfolding beneath the surface of their reality. When we choose to pause our immediate frustration and seek to understand rather than condemn, we unlock a deeper, more profound level of human connection. By shifting our perspective from judgment to curiosity, we begin to realize that the people who test our patience the most are often the ones who need our gentleness, grace, and compassion the absolute most. Subscribe for one story, one lesson, every week.